What a head, son! What a head!
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of View from the Cop. In this episode, of course, it's a post-match analysis of Leicester City versus Liverpool. 4 wins out of 4. Calden, myself here, and Reshlan, we obviously delighted with that result, but we have a lot to talk about with regards to the game. Resh?
Yeah, delighted, but also a bit relieved, Cal.
Absolutely.
After that, the showing in towards the end of the first half, as well as in most of the second half, Liverpool held on towards the end and got the victory. So 4 wins before the international break is fantastic. It's our best start since 1990.
That's correct.
So can't really ask for much more.
All right, so yes, as Reshlan has mentioned, a fantastic start to the campaign. I think a lot of Liverpool fans like us, having watched that game, we delighted at the victory, a little concerned at the gameplay overall, but we'll get into it step by step. So let's start with the lineups. And in our prediction, in our pre-match analysis video, we mentioned a 4-3-3 for Liverpool, which is exactly what we saw. And we mentioned that Leicester might try and play a bit, but it seemed like Claude Puel sort of went a bit more, packed the midfield. Demarai Gray was left up front. Your thoughts on the lineups?
So I think firstly we'll start with Liverpool. Obviously Klopp set up with that 4-3-3 that we all expected. The one thing that we didn't expect though, Kels, was the big change to the starting lineup, which was Keita out
and Henderson in. Yeah.
So Henderson coming in. Apparently Klopp was impressed by Henderson's performances, one of the performances with his training during the week, and he opted to include him in the starting 11. And I can understand where Klopp is coming from, wanting to change up the team a bit, given the fixture list that we're going to have after the international break. It's necessary to bleed in a few players and to give them game time.
And belief.
And absolutely, and belief. Because with that fixture list, we're going to need continuous rotation, as we mentioned in our previous videos. So I think Henderson did need the minutes. Did he play particularly well?
I think we'll cover that. We'll cover that later on in the video. So from Leicester's side of view and how they lined up, being at home, Demarai Gray playing up front instead of Iheanacho. We know he played in the week in the Carabao Cup game. I'm not sure what Claude Puel was going with there with Demarai Gray.
So Demarai Gray, so Puel deployed Demarai Gray in the most advanced position on the pitch for Leicester, and I think the intention there was quite obvious, given the fact that Gray is incredibly quick. So I in my mind, it makes sense that Puel would have anticipated Liverpool would have played a very high line, would have had a lot of the ball, would have attacked Leicester wave after wave, and it would have been necessary to get an out ball to a very quick forward. So the option of Demarai Gray out on the wing or through the centre with a ball over the top from defence or from midfield would have given Leicester an option to get in behind.
All right, so I guess that sums up why he went with Demarai Gray and not Iheanacho. Let's skip past Leicester now, and let's break this game down into 2 halves. So in the first half, Liverpool starting really positive from the way I perceived it, and it paid dividends in the 15th or so minute when Robertson persisted with a bit of dribbling, found a pass. Mane again persistent, 4th goal in four games in the Premier League, finds the back of the net. So a fantastic start. Your opinion on the first goal?
Great start. I like Robertson's running. I like the positivity that he brings from fullback. He's
very,
not afraid.
Very attacking.
Very attacking. He's not afraid to take on a man. He's not afraid to knock it around someone and to get that passing. So it was a good pick out from him for the first goal from Mane. And Mane had quite a bit to do when he received the ball.
He did.
It came to him. He was a bit unsighted. His first touch wasn't the greatest, but he managed to just get it away from Wes Morgan and then obviously plant it in the back of the net. So that was a good first goal, Kelton. What did you think about the miss from Salah?
So that was quite. I was celebrating. Let me tell you guys the truth. I was celebrating. I actually thought Firmino was going to score. That position, you back Firmino to hit the far corner pretty easily,
across the keeper,
and do his little sort of lift the shirt halfway up and then the no celebration, and then Salah on the rebound, and that should have been in the net. But overall, throughout the whole game, Salah didn't look up for it today. So maybe that was just the start of Salah's entire performance today.
And we saw that when he came off a bit early
as well. Just continuing on the first half,
Yeah.
there's a moment in the game where I feel the game flipped, and you guys might have a view of this. And if you get a chance to catch the highlights, or if you remember the moment I'm speaking of, let us know what your thoughts were. There was a pass to Wijnaldum in the midfield, and he lost the ball, and that led to Demarai Gray's first chance, where Alisson sort of got down low on the right-hand side and handed the ball away, basically. But from that moment onwards, it felt like Liverpool lost complete control of their game, their passing game, their quick movement, and it seemed like Leicester City took over that role of, we're the home team, we're going to pass, and we're going to bring the game to you, and if you score on the counter, tough luck, but we are going to basically attack you and play our game.
Well, there were some poor moments from Liverpool. It wasn't the best performance overall. I'm sure we can agree on that.
Absolutely.
But you have to give credit to the home side and what they did today. They didn't set up very defensively like we thought they would.
Yeah.
They played very positively. They pressed Liverpool. They pinned Liverpool into Liverpool's half, basically.
Absolutely.
Our midfield and our defense didn't have a lot of time to pass the ball around and to find a man up front, upfield. So credit to Leicester, definitely.
And just wrapping up the half, Firmino gets a goal on half time. I feel like a little bit of luck for Liverpool there, because at that point in the game, we were pinned in, took advantage of a situation, as we should, being the away team on the away ground. Scored a second goal, a vitally important goal at the end of the day. But even in the context of the match, at that point, it sort of knocked the wind out of Leicester.
Out of Leicester. And I thought that going into the halftime break, that would have given Liverpool the psychological edge.
And the license to basically...
And the license to go into the second half and really, wrestle, to take control of the game. Which we didn't see.
Absolutely not. Which is a bit concerning, to be honest. We would have liked to see Liverpool come out in the second half and basically end the game 4-5-0, if that is the case even. But credit to Leicester. Now, second half, there's only really one major talking point, which will be on the lips of every Liverpool fan for the next week, 2 weeks in fact, because of the international break. Alisson.
Right.
Now, for me, we knew this moment was going to come after we saw what happened in the Brighton game. He did it 2-3 times in the Brighton game, got away with it every single time. Did we expect it to happen in the very next game? Probably not.
No.
Are we glad it happened in this game at this time? That's, for me, I am.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the Alisson error and the fact that it didn't cost us, but he gets to learn from it?
So I think after watching Alisson for the past 3 games, seeing what he does, very confident keeper. If there's an on-rushing attacker, a little bit of a flick, a little bit of a pullback here and there, which is great to see, great for the fans. But I think in our minds we knew at some point
this was going to
happen. It was going to slip up. Right? Opposition forwards will know not to press too directly, because he would attempt
a turn
exactly.
Trick, absolutely.
And in that moment, what happens, right? So I didn't think it was going to happen in this game, but in the back of my mind, I kind of knew it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah,
it did happen today. Thankfully, though, we finished the game with 3 points. So.
We finished the game, and that was obviously Ghazal's first goal in the Premier League, Algerian as well, to replace Riyad Mahrez for Leicester. So congratulations to him as well for getting his first goal. Iheanacho as well doing well to press Alisson into the mistake and getting the goal. I don't think there were too many other key talking points throughout the game except for the performance of our midfield. I feel like that's where, if we look back at the game and we go, why was Leicester afforded so much space? Why were they able to press us so much? Yes, they're the home team. They should be playing front foot football as we'd expect. Henderson and Wijnaldum for me today were the 2 players that just didn't seem to be up to the pace of the game. And when Keita came on, it seemed to have changed the midfield a bit more, and suddenly we had an extra breadth and an extra step and an extra second or 2 to move the ball around.
So, as Liverpool fans watching the football, we always expect our midfield to have more energy than the opposition midfield. Absolutely. We always expect Liverpool to press with more ferocity than the opposition would, and to harry and hassle. Today we were shocked, I think, because in terms of the energy that Leicester brought to the game,
they were good.
In terms of the pressing that their midfield did today, in terms of the lack of space that Salah and Firmino were afforded.
Yeah, Firmino was absolutely crowded at every opportunity. Yeah.
So they were. For me, it was a bit of a shocker because they basically came into the game with more energy.
Yeah, and Reshton did mention before we started recording this that Claude Puel was excellent in recognizing that Firmino drops into that midfield role, and as soon as he got onto the ball, he was more crowded out than Salah was crowded out, because Claude Puel recognized him being the linchpin and the major threat to release Mane and Salah.
Exactly. So on that point, so Firmino drops between the two lines of the opposition, between the back four and between the midfield two or midfield four. He drops in to receive the ball. He wasn't given space there.
Not at all. Yeah.
And opposition managers are now gonna take notice of this, obviously, and they're gonna build it into their tactics. So it's gonna be interesting to see in the coming weeks how Klopp deals with this issue. It will be an issue that's gonna pop up. It's gonna be interesting to see how he deals with it.
All right, so that pretty much covers the game. Like we said, there was no other talking points besides the Alisson one, which was a really big one. Let's get into player ratings. We're going to do Liverpool only. We're not going to speak about Leicester players. Although I'm glad that Vardy did not play today. We won't get into that, but I feel like if Vardy did play today, he may have capitalized on some chances that Demarai Gray just didn't have the experience to capitalize on. Okay, so from the back, Alisson. For me, I know there was a big mistake, but otherwise I thought he was good when he needed to be, and he kept his area secure. I would go with a 7.
I would agree with you. He did have, there was one moment in a corner where he was quite commanding. He took control of it. The save, obviously, from Demarai Gray's shot, and then atoning from his error and clearing when the ball was passed back to him.
Absolutely, as well. So not making the same mistake twice in the same game. Also psychologically, that would have hurt him, but he kept composed. And he finished the game strongly. So a 7 for Alisson. Cool. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he went off later on in the game for Joel Matip. For me, again, he played a solid game. Positionally, he was fine. Not the best going forward today. We can't expect it every single game that your fullback is perfect. A 7 again, I would say, for Arnold. All right. Joe Gomez. Massive performance, I feel, today. Positionally, he was brilliant. He marked his men well. Man of the match.
Man of the match. And talking point was his block for the shot. I think it was from Maddison.
Yeah, it was Maddison.
That's as good as a goal.
Yeah.
So
9.
Massive 9 for Gomez.
A 9. I think he would have been a 10 had it been a clean sheet. I think we knock him on the point. It's a team effort, of course, and so we knock him for 1 point. But a 9 for Joe Gomez and our man of the match here at View from the Cop.
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk, I'm going to go 7. Not as commanding as we've seen in the last couple of games.
Not his usual imperial self. So 7 for Van Dijk. A few loose passes, a few rushed clearances.
We saw a couple long balls just drifting out into nowhere.
Well, he was. I think this game he kind of adopted the approach of no nonsense. It was a bit Carragher-esque, you could put it that way. So he did the job when he needed to. Late on, I think it was before the final whistle, there was a corner where he won the header, as he does. So can't knock him with too many things, but a 7 I think is
maybe we're being hypercritical because we know of how good he actually is.
That's true.
And so now we're saying 7 on a Virgil van Dijk performance that was probably close to perfect anyway. Robertson got the assist positionally once again, was pretty good, didn't give the ball away stupidly. Defended well, 8 with the assist. I think we'll push him to an 8. All right, Wijnaldum. Not the best today, not up to the pace I felt of the way Leicester were playing around him. 6 for Wijnaldum.
I gave him a 6 on the back of 3 fantastic performances today. Kind of let us down a little bit, so I think 6.
He did see out the match though in the end. Next up would be in the midfield Henderson, so captain who was taken off. It's hard to criticize the captain, but today just wasn't one of his days. I just don't think he was up to the pace of the game in the midfield. I also feel like one of his weaknesses, unfortunately, is that he tends to play the game at the speed the opposition plays the game. So when he's being pressed, he's going to pass quickly. If he has time, then he'll pick his head up and look. Otherwise, he's going to move the ball. And we saw that clearly when Naby Keita came on for him. And with a quick body feint here and a quick step over there, Naby Keita is able to create a bit of time and space and play the game at his pace and basically relax the rest of the team. So Henderson, Rating for Henderson?
Henderson.
I'm gonna throw it onto you.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to say it.
So I think Henderson will come up to speed. A lot of games coming up, so he will play and he will need to come up to speed. Unfortunately for him today, like Cal said, wasn't the greatest. So 5 for Henderson.
5 for Henderson. I think that's fair. It wasn't his best performance, and recognized by Klopp and taken out.
Yeah.
And Salah. We'll get to Salah soon.
We hope he gets better.
Milner played fairly well and got an assist as well. Again, not the day for the midfielders. So we gave Robertson an 8 because he defended well and got the assist. I would say Milner a 7. He got the assist for the corner, from the corner. But otherwise, not too much happening in the middle of the park for Liverpool today.
Mr. Dependable was Mr. Dependable again today. So
yeah, absolutely. Sadio Mane with the goal and lots of running once again.
Yeah.
Rating for him, where do you think he lies? 7, 8?
I'll give Sadio 8 for today.
8 as well. Okay.
Yeah,
Roberto Firmino, I think he also deserves 7 or 8 as well. If you ask me, I thought he got the goal. He worked really hard.
He worked really hard. He did work really hard. He was hassled a lot. There were a lot of frustrated at times because as soon as he received the ball, as soon as he had it at his feet, he was pressed immediately.
Absolutely,
and he had the likes of Mendy and Ndidi on him. So it wasn't his greatest performance, but he still put in his work. He didn't drift. He didn't disappear from the game like most forwards do. So I'd actually give him an 8.
All right, so that's an 8 for Roberto Firmino. Mo Salah, I'm gonna say 6. He was good in the first 15 minutes. He sort of faded away into the game as it got on later, and evidence when Shaqiri replaced him later on in the match.
Shaqiri looked good when he came on.
Shaqiri did.
He did look good when
he looked good in the sense that he had match awareness. He understood we were sitting at a critical position in the game, 2-1 up. Did a bit of dirty work holding up the ball, etc.
Yeah. So we hope Salah will get better. We know Salah will get better. But I'm encouraged by what I've seen from Shaqiri so far. Obviously in pre-season, and now given his sub appearance, he looked great, and I think he's going to be very, very important in the games coming up.
All right, well that covers all the players, all 11 players on the field. So that's pretty much what we had for you this video. Now we know it's international break time, so we will be taking a look at all the Liverpool players and possibly bring a video to you guys next week or so, doing a bit of a roundup of how our players performed internationally. We got the Brazilians going out, a couple of guys in the England squad as well. Anything you're looking forward to from England? Any specific player you'd like to see internationally?
From England, I'd like to see Joe Gomez given a chance in the England squad. So Southgate was at most of the games.
Yeah,
he did watch Joe Gomez, and I'd like to see him start. I'd like to see him start definitely. And then I'd like to see, and I'm not sure if I'm going to see it, but I'd like to see maybe Fabinho in the Brazilian squad, in the Brazilian matchday squad, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Might be asking for too much, but interesting for that. And then Firmino. Firmino deserves to play in that Brazil squad.
As a number 9.
As a number 9, yeah. Firmino should be starting. So yeah, hoping to see him as well.
Okay, I think that pretty much covers all of our talking points for today. So we hope you guys have enjoyed our post-match analysis of Leicester versus Liverpool. Of course, we want to hear what you guys think as well. Do you agree with our ratings, or do you think they're complete rubbish? Let us know in the comment section. Drop a like and don't forget to subscribe as well. Follow us on Twitter at VFTCopL4, where we obviously tweet out our videos and some match reports as things are going on as well. All right, from us here until the next video after the international break, that's been A View from the Cop.